I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Today we're reading from the 5th chapter of John, and so let's focus on verses 41 through 47. I do not accept glory from men, but I know you, that you have no love for God within you. I've come in my Father's name, and yet you do not accept me. If someone else comes in his own name, well, you'll accept him. How can you believe? While accepting glory from one another, you don't seek the glory that comes only from God. Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. Your accuser is Moses, on whom you have set your hope. For if you believed Moses, you would believe me, because he wrote about me. But if you don't believe his writings, how will you believe my words? That's John chapter 5, verses 41 through 47. Now I admit it. I'm not a very smart guy. I went to public school in Arkansas. But even I know that Moses is big for Judaism. And I've mentioned before that my wife and I try to go to Israel as often as possible. And people ask me if it ever gets old seeing the same sights. But to be honest, there's only two sights that I'm excited about seeing anymore in Israel. People experiencing Israel for the first time, and then seeing Israelis understanding the gospel. Those are the two things I live for. You know, a young lady who attended my Riverside, California Bible study once shared a conversation that she had with a Jewish schoolmate. And she invited her Jewish friend to the Bible study. But her Jewish friend says, I don't want to go because you can't be Jewish and believe in Jesus. Well, in essence, this girl was saying Moses and Jesus don't mix. But this is a misconception that many Jewish people have, as well as many Christians. The standard Jewish argument is that you have to either be Jewish or Christian. And I could argue this point all day, but the truth lies in Jesus' words, not mine. Jesus is telling Israel's religious leaders, and he's telling us today, that the most Jewish thing that they could do is to believe in him, the Messiah of Israel. And going further, to prove his point, Jesus adds that it will not be he who condemns people in those days, Jewish people, for not believing in him. Jesus adds that it will be Moses who judges Jewish people who refuse to believe in Jesus as Messiah. And the sad truth is they cling to Moses, the Torah of Moses, the first 5 books of the Bible. And he says, don't cling to him, he's clinging to me. He's also saying that if Jews don't follow him, then not only do they not receive his atonement, but they don't even understand Moses. My advice to the girl in our study, the one with the Jewish friend, was that she continues to share her faith, even though her friend has articulated a so-called intellectual conundrum about reckoning her Jewishness with following Jesus. The most anti-Semitic thing that you could do is to withhold the Messiah of Israel from a Jewish person. So press on with the gospel in truth and in love, and pray that the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh in Hebrew, will open the eyes of the hearts of the Jewish community and beyond. And furthermore, pray for revival among people in our day. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Check us out at groundworksministries.com.